Highland Park.
Highland Park.
1997.
Good choice.
Yeah, that's the Bladnoch. 17 years old. Bourbon refill.
And no customs and excise.
No customs and excise. Yeah.
Oh well.
Glengarry.
Okay.
Sherry refilled.
Year 2000.
Year 2000. That's, it didn't have much in.
Yeah.
And Kilcolman refill bourbon.
Excellent. Good.
So that's all the north, south, east and west.
Well done you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We are at the centre.
Yeah, here we are.
Okay, so we're going up to the warehouse with Neil, pick a Glenturret, and then we'll go and do some blending. Okay, so we all set?
Yes.
As you can see from the cask ends, they're Glenturret 1991, cask number 636 and 637. Colour on that one.
Can I get a wee sniff of the barrel?
Sure, there you go. Just take a wee bit in that case. There goes loads. When were you here, Tom?
92.
Well, what I'm doing is we're going to first of all assess these two Glenturrets to make a choice as to which one we'll use. It's quite, Glenturret, especially back in 91, was a very, very light spirit, yeah, the spirit itself. So what you're getting here is a lot from the cask. You know, the spices that are in there are coming from the Spanish oak as opposed to the spirit itself.
This is really interesting. It's like, you know, we've done all this, we've been to all these places, now it's the judgment call, isn't it?
So it's a matter of, first of all, deciding which of these we're going to take.
From my point of view, if I was wanting to try one of them right now and drink it, the really fruity one, which is the 636, is the one that I'd be. No, you're right, 637 is better.
I think it's a good choice that you made there. I think there's a bit more wood, a bit more tannin in that, which means that you're getting a dryness on the palate, and hopefully we're going to end up with a sweetish style of blend. So, one of the main things actually this sample will bring to the party is some colour. It's a lovely colour in it. But it's middle of the road in terms of style of whisky. You're not going to upset anybody with that. You're not necessarily going to change Mr. Morton's view of the quality of spirit of Glenturret either.
Yeah, you see, I'm being held to ransom for what I said in 1992 when I was just a boy.
Normally if I'm working on a new product like that, you know, I make a stab in my head as to where I think they might be, put them together in those proportions, see what it looks like. Sometimes you're lucky, you get a hit right away. More often than not you think, don't like that very much, and rework it from there.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go, variant 1.
You ready?
Right. Here we are then. In my case, 870 miles. In your case, thousands and thousands.
1,050 or so.
I think it's quite a nice balance in it. I quite like it. Okay, let's have a taste.
Maybe it's just because we've been to these various places, but I can actually imagine myself tasting the different whiskies in it. That'll do fine.
Yeah,
we'll take it.
12 cases. 12 cases. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we can have another stab if you want. Do you want it?
Well, what would you, if it was for you, what would you be doing next? What would be your next move?
I mean, I honestly quite like it. I'm surprised, you know, just the way it's worked out. I think they've come together really quite well, so I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. But just sort of experience, you think, well, you don't usually get it right first time around, so maybe we should think of something. The Kilcolman at 5%, I don't want to put that up. And I don't want to take it down either, because for me, if you get something in less than 5%, how can you claim you've got any influence? It's pretty powerful,
yeah, it's
but So I'd be happy to leave that. I would maybe like try and get a wee bit more age in it, so put the Bladnoch up a wee bit. Straight into the palate, Mr. Matt.
I think I prefer the first one.
I think what I was suggesting was that I tried to get a bit more age into it. And I think I've got a wee bit more age into it, but I think I've dumbed it down.
I think we got it at number one, you know.
Still number one for me.
Number one. Okay, gentlemen, very well done. Let's have a go at this. Slange.
Slange. Cheers.
Very much. Cheers.
Skål. And well done to you too, John.
Most often when I'm doing blending, it is to there's some sort of specification already there. This was very different in that I had no idea what the guys were going to choose from each of the distilleries, what the wood types might be, what the ages were. So it was a bit different. So the first part was to nose them, get an idea of the individual components, and then think about how they might come together. This young one here, this Kilhoman, it's just over 3 years old, but a very high phenolic content. So I didn't want to use too much of that. That was my initial thought. The Bladnoch I liked because of its age. It's the oldest one we've got on the table, and the others I was just looking and thinking how they might come together with the Highland Park and the Glenturret, giving us colour in the blend as well as flavour, because this was going to be a naturally coloured product. We didn't want any caramel or anything like that near it. So the guys have done a good job with what they brought here today. Thanks very much, guys. At least I can say I've had the experience of an Enfield.
Thanks again, John. Lovely to meet you.
Cheers. Okay, guys. All the best. Thanks very much.
Well, this trip's been really enlightening for me because 17 years ago I went around almost every single malt distillery that was then operating in Scotland on a much worse motorbike than this. I was just a boy really, I knew nothing about whisky, and it was a real journey of discovery for me, and I was just thrilled with the existence of these marvellous magical places that were producing single malt whisky. And I really longed for the fact that it should be something which the public absorbed, rather than thinking that whisky was just a blended substance you got in supermarkets for about 10 quid and got you drunk, that you could discover so much more about Scotland through whisky. And since then, of course, single malts have really taken off, and it's an enormous industry. But to my mind, it's taken a wrong turning, in that it's concentrated in a worldwide market of ageing, wealthy males, anal retentive males, who want to collect and hoard and categorise. To me, whisky is about Scotland, it's about place, it's about people, and it's about passion. And it's a passion for that, I think, which could take single malt whisky out of the ghetto it's currently at risk of being in, and into something which is much more vibrant and much more about something we can all enjoy, and much more about Scotland.
It was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. I mean, I'm a relative novice to whisky. Whisky to me is just something that I drank, but it was the buildings that struck me about it. That was the fantastic thing. There's so much heritage in the buildings in the buildings themselves, and to see everything done in this kind of combination of high tech and Heath Robinson that whisky appears to be, that was fantastic. I liked the warehouses. My favourite one was definitely the one at Glengarry, which was on 3 different levels. And just to have all that. But the other thing that struck me about the warehouses is the mould. They've got this white mould and the black mould, and it's on the walls and it's on the floor, and every single warehouse has got this white and black mould. And I'm just really interested by the relationship between the whisky, the mould, and the buildings.
It's been one hell of a journey. It's been educational, interesting, fun. Whisky tastes so much different at the distillery than it does anywhere else, and those Oh, hang on, here he goes. Off we go. The bathtub's off. See you later. Safe home. And there went Tom Morton off on his bathtub back to Shetland. Long journey. We've all got long journeys ahead of us, but yeah, it's been good. It's been, like I say, the special things, seeing the distilleries, choosing directly from the barrel what we wanted. I mean, the whiskey's very much of the place it's made, and those are certainly memories that we'll take away with us. It's not the same buying it from a supermarket. Going to the distillery and drinking it there, and standing in the still room, feeling the floor vibrate as the stills work. It's all part of the magic, and that's what hooks me. That's what really gets me. It's been a very, very worthwhile trip. Journey's Blend too, yeah, I'd love to do America, make an American bourbon blend. That'd be fun. Hire a couple of Harleys and just tune across Kentucky.
Journey's Blend 2, I think, has to be India. There's no other option, because this fine machine is made in India, and I'd like to see those two on these for a long distance as well.
Journey's Blend 3 will be Japan, and then Journey's Blend 4 will probably move on to rum, hire a large yacht and tour the Caribbean islands.